Hey everybody, Abby here. How are you guys doing today? Today we have a update um, from Pam, and she's letting us know that it's about her father coming to visit her. So we'll see what happened there. Um, she also wanted to give us a quick update to tell us that she has now qualified to pierce the girls, and last week she had actually got a couple into her chair for a Prince Albert piercing for him and both her girls for her, and they called it an engagement ring and wedding ring for her, and then a wedding ring for him. She said, I hope that catches on. She goes on to say, I can tell the males that are in an FLR. I have a business card that has on the back a 20% discount on our brand of chastity devices that we sell. I get a 10% commission on each one if she presents the coupon. So far, I've handed out 3 of these coupons and 2 have been redeemed. One FLR lady knows how to spot another FLR lady. Interesting. So, she goes on to say, my best friend Brenda and her new boyfriend John have totally embraced the smoking fetish. Congratulations. Last weekend at our place out on our deck, Brenda wanted to show me how successful their relationship is. She had John kneel beside her and ashed into John's mouth. While I appreciated his devotion to Brenda, I can never ask my Bruce to do this. Can't say that I blame you there, Pam. Not my thing. Who am I to judge? Anyway, getting back to the story, my father's visit. I invited my father over on Wednesday afternoon. I knew my mother would be at her book club and he would be free. I told him I wanted to talk about wedding plans. He arrived about 2 and he followed me out into the back garden in the shade. I offered him his favorite cold beer and then a cigar from the portable humidor Bruce bought me. It keeps my cigars fresh. My father likes cigars, and with Mom not around, I knew he would accept. I let him cut and light his own cigar. He took a few strong puffs, looked at his cigar, and said, Your Bruce has good taste in cigars. Thanks, Pam. I don't get to enjoy a cigar very often. I reached for a cigar and ran the unlit cigar under my nose to get its scent. I said, These are not Bruce's, Daddy, they are mine. I always called him Daddy, not Father, when I want something. I cut, lit up, and blew 3 perfect smoke rings. I think he was a bit stunned to see his daughter enjoying a thick cigar. I thought it best not to do a full nose exhale in front of him. Probably not. Good call. And when did my princess start smoking cigars? He asked. He has always called me his princess. Mom does not like it. I started to enjoy them about 4 months ago. He knew I smoked cigarettes in college Daddy, I asked you here today because I want you to talk about my Aunt Victoria. Well, Pam, your aunt was a bit of a mystery, he said. What do you want to know? When I received the bursary award at my nursing convocation, did you know that it was Aunt Victoria in the wheelchair? My father had the look of a deer in the headlights of a big truck. Yes, Pam, I did. It took me a while at the ceremony to Google that there was no bursary in the name of Octavia Rutan. He took a draw on his cigar. It was just an anagram for Aunt Victoria. Don't look so shocked. I know how to use the internet. I'm not a dinosaur, he said. You never told Mom? He exhaled, laughed, and said, Do I look stupid? Thanks, Daddy, I replied. Did you know who she was? He asked. Not until this week, I said. I met up with a woman that was pushing her wheelchair. There was a long pause as we enjoyed our cigars. The robins were enjoying the bird bath. I waited until he started to draw on his cigar. Now, can you tell me about her time in the CIA? I thought he was going to choke on his cigar. It took a few minutes for Daddy to clear his chest. Where did you hear about that? He said. Daddy, I said as I took a draw on my cigar, I am your daughter, am I not? Okay, he said, but here is all I know. Remember last year when I went on a trip without your mother? Yes, I said, it was a golf holiday. Well, Pam, that was not a golf holiday. Your mother and I were asked by the Navy to attend a committal at sea. Is that the same as a funeral, Daddy? Yes, Pam, it is. It was for your Aunt Victoria. It was her wish to be buried at sea. She also served in the Navy, I said. Not really. She was CIA. It was just easier for the paperwork to say she was a Navy nurse. Normally, family is never invited to the ceremony, especially on an active ship in theater and on a mission, but your aunt was special. 2 U.S. Navy admirals and a British full colonel from the SBS attended. What is SBS? I asked. Special boat service, he said. After the service, we retired to the Admiral's wardroom for a toast to your aunt and a cigar. I was presented with an American flag and a British flag. The 2 admirals did not know her directly, but they knew of her as they were read into her classified file. It turns out they were ordered to attend. That order must have come from high up, I said. The British colonel had served with your aunt when he was a young captain. After the admirals left the wardroom, he and I had some time together before the helicopter had to take us off. He said Victoria preferred submarines to surface ships, more quiet and stealthy. I could hear my auntie making a joke about what is long, hard, goes deep, and is full of semen. Yeah, just from the stories you've shared with us, Pam, I could see your aunt making such a comment. Anyway, I like that. He also said the French government was invited, but they are still a little PO'd about something your aunt did to them that caused them to lose an African colony, he said. The British colonel said he met Victoria during the Falkland War in '82. He said that war would have turned out much different if it had not been for your aunt. After the war, she got to meet and have tea with the British Prime Minister, Margaret Thatcher. The colonel laughed when he said, and they called Maggie the Iron Lady. They never meet your sister-in-law, Victoria, he said. Her records with the British government were sealed for 50 years, so you should hear more about them and about her after 2032. The British colonel said they could write novels about your aunt, but no one would believe them, and some foreign governments would fall if the truth came out even now. Maybe your children, Pam, will read about her in school. You are going to give your mother and me grandchildren, right? Fingers are failing. All right. We took some long... Daddy, I said, I'm working on that. We took some long drags on our cigars. Daddy, did you know Aunt Victoria started a fertility clinic here in the city? No, he said, I did not. But that does not surprise me. Tell me what you know, he asked. I told him about the recent operation for sperm retrieval I was asked to assist on and how we were making a widow's wish come true. Pam, I am amazed at what you do, he said. That made me proud to be my daddy's girl. I said the clinic is responsible for thousands of infertile couples having children. I think I almost saw him tear up. My father is a very practical man, and he understood what I do is important. I left out the part about Bruce being in chastity and going into a sperm donation program, or the fact that he was sitting in the chair we often use for Bruce's pegging. Yeah, that's probably a good thing to just kind of leave that out. As my father stubbed out his cigar, he said we need to do this more often, but let's not tell your mother. I agreed and kissed him on his cheek as he left. I enjoyed our daddy-daughter time together. He still is a very handsome man. I stayed in the shade of the tree, finished my cigar as I thought about my aunt and where my life is going. I Googled information on the British Special Boat Service. I knew I would never see a picture of my aunt, but I wanted to see the hard-bodied men she may have served with. And then it caught my eye. The motto of the SBS, by strength and guile. Those same words are painted on the bottom of my aunt's portrait hanging at the FLR Club. Things are starting to make sense now. If I can be half the woman she was, Pam. All right. Well, Pam, thank you so much again for sharing with us. You have such an interesting story. It's like a detective novel. You got to go about to find all this information about your aunt. She definitely sounds like she was an interesting lady, that's for sure. One for the storybooks. And I have to say, that I really do think that, you know, if you learned half of the stories about her, you probably wouldn't believe half the things. They would probably make your head spin, especially if she was in the CIA. I will say, they don't get that stuff in the movies from nowhere. Alright guys, thank you again for joining me, and have a great rest of your day. Bye everybody. And I still can't get it. Abby bloopers. Okay, for real, my brand new phone does not want to shut off on me. I don't know what the story is.